Now, see, Black Friday is supposed to be about sales, deals, doorbusters, you in the store fighting for TVs, not fighting for your life. Child, the Valley Fair Mall in the Bay Area turned into Call of Duty Live. People running, hiding in stores, dropping bags, abandoning carts. And yes, even Macy's got wrapped up in all of this madness. A teenager pulled out a GUN inside the mall on Black Friday of all days. Right? And the whole place went into a panic. I'm just sitting here like, how did a shopping trip end with folks sheltering inside strangers' homes? Make it make sense. What's up, family? Welcome back to Insider Scoop Report, where we break down the stories that make you say, ain't no way this just happened. So, if you're new here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, smash the like, leave a comment, and also share this video. Drop your city and state down in the comments as well, because this story right here has the entire Bay Area shook. And we're heading to Santa Clara, San Jose, where the Westfield Fair Mall, I just said that wrong, Westfield Valley Fair Mall, one of the biggest malls on the West Coast, okay, at that. It turned into a crime scene on the biggest shopping day of the year. So let's get into what actually went down, why people are still traumatized, and how a couple ended up sheltering dozens of strangers in their living rooms.
Breaking now at 11 o'clock, gunfire erupting inside the Westfield Valley Fair Mall in San Jose on one of the busiest shopping days of the year. 3 people were shot in what's been a chaotic Black Friday.
So we're going to stop right there. Now, according to ABC7, LA Times, NBC Bay Area, and a whole lot of other news media outlets, this happened around 5:40 p.m. on Black Friday, where a 17-year-old got into an argument inside the mall. Now, the police say it was gang-related, and that's why he pulled the GUN. And he's 17, so he's still a child. What is he doing with a GUN first and foremost? So he shoots at someone, end up hitting at least 3 people. And out of those 3 people, I think one was like a teenager as well. Of course, chaos immediately broke out, what you just saw on that video there. People said it sounded like pop, pop, pop. And all you see is crowds running, screaming, grabbing their kids, diving into stores. Shoppers and Macy's were told to run or hide. Employees locked doors. People rushing through departments, some hiding under racks and behind the counters. Like, this is not the doorbusters anybody signed up for. Let me ask y'all something. Why is it that kids and teens have easier access to GUNs these days than adults do? They have more access to GUNs than adults even have to housing. Like, what is happening here? Let me know what your thoughts is on that. So here's where the story gets wild. People weren't just running through the mall. They were pouring out of the mall onto the residential streets, begging strangers to let them inside their house. Now, ABC7 interviewed a couple by the name of, last name of Garcia. Now, their doorbell camera caught 2 girls terrified of what's going on, asking if they can come in. And so they let them in. Not only did they let them in, they let everybody else in that wanted to come into their house.
And Irene Garcia, who lived near one of the mall's exits, suddenly heard 2 frightened girls running from the mall, desperately knocking on their door for help.
The shooter inside the mall. Can we come in, please?
The Garcias didn't hesitate, didn't ask any questions. They immediately pulled the girls inside and then fully opened their front door.
Come inside.
So I'm going to pause right there for a second. So, what if this were you in this situation? You know, you really don't know these people like that. So, would you be running the strangers' houses, or you, as the stranger's house that the people are running to, would you trust what they're saying and open your home up? Not too many people do that these days. I'm not saying that is anything wrong with what they did because they were, essentially helping people, protecting them. But it's real dangerous these days. You definitely have to watch your back, front, sides, all that. So their house turned into a full-on community shelter they said for about 8 hours, I think, a whole shift, y'all. So they had people hiding out in bedrooms, bathrooms, crying, shaking, and praying while the police swept the mall.
Inside my house. If you need to come in my house, come in my house.
So this is a still image of people in their house, strangers in their house that they don't know. It's hard to say what you would do in this type of situation. You just never know. But what they did, they were nice people. So they ended up ordering pizza. They played Christmas music. Um, just random people just hugging each other like long lost family and friends. Now, when you think about it, that is a heartwarming part of the situation. But you have to think about all circumstances. So let's fast forward. The police arrested a 17-year-old 2 days later. They also arrested a 21-year-old woman who they say helped the boy escape, and she was pushing a stroller at the time. Law. Police said the teen already had prior GUN cases and was on probation for carrying a loaded firearm. So let me get this straight. He's already had a GUN charge, already on probation, and still walked into a packed mall with a weapon on the biggest shopping day of the year. Somebody explain how consequences exist but somehow don't exist at the same time. No teen, I don't care what nobody say, no teen or anybody with a prior GUN charge be allowed in a mall at all. Or do y'all think that's too much? Of course, social media went off. People are tired of violence in places that should be safe. Folks online were like, we can't even shop for Christmas in peace. What is happening to these kids? Why is everything turning into a crime scene? I want to get into what someone had to say that was there.
This was absolutely insane, number one. All I remember was I was literally in the dressing room at American Eagle and I was trying on pairs of pants and all I hear is people screaming, yelling, and people are barging into my dressing room.
Now, I want to pause for a second because think about the trauma. This will be a traumatic experience for anybody. And you're talking about families in the mall, kids who had panic attacks, adults who said they would never go to a mall again, parents carrying their children while running full speed. Society is spiraling, and we're all just hoping it doesn't spiral on us next. What is driving all this youth violence today? Is it social media? Is it lack of consequences? Is it poverty? Peer pressure? What do you think could be causing this?
And we had to basically wait in the back of the store. So everybody in their stores, but they were stuck. They had to wait in like the stock rooms, whatever. And they had to give direction or get direction from the police. And pretty much we had to wait there for like almost like an hour or so, hour and a half. And we could not get out.
Well, yeah. So the situation, it goes deeper than just one shooting. We keep seeing it across the country, right? Kids, literally minors, with GUNs, with beef, with social media arguments turning into real life shootouts. Police said exactly what many have been thinking. Juvenile GUN laws are weak, and they are. They're right. And teens aren't scared of any type of consequences. Let's get into what someone else that was there had to say.
I worked on Black Friday at Valley Fair when the shooting happened. I was maybe 100 feet or less away from where it happened. And I have a few comments to make regarding the mall and posts I've seen online. Because as someone that was so close by, it was probably one of the scariest, craziest things I've ever experienced in my life. I will never forget this. If you haven't seen it already, there is an interview with this guy, Mexican Spider-Man, who was at the bowling alley, which happens to
Just want to speak on something else too, because we have many people who are arguing about that there should be harsher punishment. And then we got some other people saying that a harsher punishment is not going to fix the core issue that leads to kids into violence in the first place. So what is it, y'all? What is it? Accountability, prevention, or both? What do you think works better? Stricter laws or more community support and intervention for troubled teens? And here's the real truth, family. People shouldn't have to bargain for their safety just to go buy holiday gifts. Nobody should be hiding behind a perfume counter or sprinting out of Macy's because a teenager decided today was the day. And the fact that a random couple ended up protecting dozens of people in their home tells you everything you need to know about how unprepared our world is for how common GUN violence has become. Skip back into what she had to say.
be on the other side of the mall, but when the shots were fired, people obviously were running, and to help him and others get out from that side because it was kind of stuck, whatever, he threw a bowling ball at the window. And I saw a comment somewhere saying that people were doing too much for an isolated, targeted shooting. Now, unless you were there, you do not think in that moment, oh, this is targeted. Like,
Now, let's keep it all the way real, y'all. Another thing I want to say, this wasn't even a mall that was in a bad neighborhood. Anybody peep that? It wasn't at 2 a.m. It wasn't a gang hangout. It was Black Friday. This is about families, kids, sales, joy. But then we get chaos. What does it say about society when a mall on Black Friday isn't even safe anymore? I'm gonna just go ahead give my thoughts. This is exactly how I feel about it. It wasn't just a shooting. This was a wake-up call. If not, it should have been. Kids should not have GUNs. Parents shouldn't be forced to play superhero, and strangers shouldn't have to turn their homes into emergency shelters on a holiday weekend. The fact that this keeps happening and younger people are involved means something is deeply broken.
no, you hear those shots, you're thinking Black Friday, so many people, mass shooting. And it does not matter whether it was only 6 to 11 shots. Bystanders were hit. 3 people were hit. So obviously they are running for their life. They are running out of fear. They are trying to leave the mall. So comments like that regarding people doing too much, people like, I find it so disrespectful.
Let me just keep it all the way real, y'all. She is speaking facts. She is. And until we address the root of the issue, whether it's poverty, environment, community decay, lack of guidance, we're going to keep seeing headlines like this. It's not going to stop. But what do you think is the first thing that needs to change to stop these kind of shootings? What do y'all think needs to happen?
Well, that if you were not there, you do not know what it was like. You do not know how traumatic it is to see people running, screaming, especially in this climate. Shootings, unfortunately, are too common. Why are we used to this?
So yeah, family, a shooting on Black Friday is not just a headline. It's a sign of where we are as a society. It is what it is. People can't even shop in peace. Kids can't even browse in Macy's. And the holidays ain't safe for the madness either. So drop your thoughts in the comments. What would you have done? Do you feel safe in malls anymore? Do you feel safe, period, anymore? Should malls add security, or would they have made it feel like an airport? And make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and share, because these conversations, they matter. This is Inside the Scoop Report. Stay safe, stay aware, and hug your loved ones. I'll catch y'all in the next one.